I need to, I don't need to, but I read this to get it going. So this is a part of the message. And it, the title changed several times. It's Kadam that's coming to us tonight. And the title that I wrote down here is Reaching Out. And then he corrected me and said, that's the way that we think of it, where we live in a time-space continuum, but it's really reaching in. He said, as you move through your days, remember that we are with you. You forget to open to us just by asking for help when you get bogged down with the earth vibrations. Reach out in your thoughts. Ask to be cleansed of all past negation. Then send God's love to all the invisibles around you. Send love to your teachers and guides. Ask God and Jesus to help you to turn from the heavy vibrations, thoughts, feelings, moods, and attitudes. Then send God's love again to help you to help it to happen. Take a deep breath, using your inner image to see, feel, and know it is changing. Take advantage of this and take another deep breath and know that divine love, light, and healing power is pouring into all dimensions from the highest all the way down through your many finer bodies to the mind, the physical body, and the extra abundance into the nervous systems. Continue to feel the release and using that magic genie within you, the imagination, to feel at peace, relaxed, light-hearted, and happy. You do have the power to do this when you make the effortless efforts to allow us to help you. So many times you continue to wallow in your misery. You concentrate on the problem, forgetting that the answer is just a thought away. Good evening, my dear ones. This is Gadon coming to you from these realms of love and light. And I welcome you new ones who are coming this evening and ask you to keep an open mind and to use your inner image to realize that this is not the Don personality talking at this time. This is Kadon, a disembodied entity from the higher realms. You, my dear ones, are all beings of light, for you are reaching out. You're reaching and searching for your understanding, to increase your understanding. Yes, it is reaching within, because all the higher realms is within. The outer physical world is less than 2% of your life. The other 98% is within. And this is confusing to you when you're not used to understanding that there is no such thing as time or space. But allow it to sink in to your understanding and realize that there is no here or there. The whole of life is here, at this moment, in this place. When you open your minds to us, we can help you so much more. And this is why we are talking about this evening, this reaching out or reaching within with your thoughts when you get bogged down in the heavy vibrations of the physical plane. Too often you forget to do this, and you go on thinking about your troubles and your problems and making them larger. Remember that life force follows thought. So whatever you give thought to, you give power to. And when you give thought to the so-called problems of your earth life, then you are enlarging the problem in your mind. In reality, there are no problems. But when you think there are problems, then they are a problem to you. You have created this with your thoughts. If you can realize that problems, as you call them, are opportunities, they are either tripping stones or stepping stones. And when you bump into a problem, so-called, and you can immediately say, "Thank you, Father, for this opportunity. Now show me what to do with it. Help me to understand. Help me to realize that this physical plane is just a play on a stage. It is not really real. Remind me of this, and remind me that the reality is within. For you are the life force that I am. You are within me, and you create all that is." But the Father has given us the power of co-creation with Him and the freedom to do it. So we can create a lot of things, phantoms, you might say, that we call trouble and problems. And we get upset, emotionally disturbed, and put dark clouds of thought into the situation. When, if you can remember soon enough to remember, oh, this is an opportunity. Let me send God's love into it. Let me release it to God so that He can work it out, so that He can help me to understand. Remember, the Master Teacher, Jesus, is here to help you. He has gone through all the experiences that you have in many, many incarnations. Most on your plane do not realize this, but He could not help you in the way that He does unless He has had the experience. And my dear ones, He has had the experience that anyone on this plane has had, and He has risen above it. He has overcome it. So He does understand. When you allow Jesus or us, it doesn't matter, your teachers, your guides, your guardian angels, whatever words that you want to use, when you reach out in your thoughts and open your minds and your hearts and send God's love to all the invisibles around you. You see, my dear ones, when you concentrate on a problem, you create a dark cloud around you, and you can attract lower entities from the dark realms to you. So if you remember soon enough to send God's love to all the invisibles around you, then the lower entities will have to leave or either change. And your teachers and your guides then can come in on this divine love and help you to understand, give you the enlightenment, if you are open. And there are times when you make the same mistake, many times, over and over again, and we try to get through to you the answer. But sometimes with your clouded thoughts, and your confusion, and you're trying to work it out just from a physical level, you see you put more darkness into it. And God has given you free will, so we cannot interfere with this if this is what you choose to do. But when you take a deep breath and say, I give up, this personality doesn't understand this little self, this physical self, is having confusion, and I send God's love into this, and I send divine light into it, and I ask for understanding, and I send love to all those around me, either visible or invisible, and I release it to the higher realms of divine love and light. And it matters not who it is there to help you, whether it is Jesus, whether it is your guardian angel, or someone else, one of your guides. You are never alone, my dear ones. We are always there with you. We are always with you. If you could remember this and realize this and ask for help more often, reach out with your thoughts. And even when you do not feel that you need help, send love to us anyway. Send love to all the people on this planet, and send love to the whole universe, because God's love is all-powerful and all-wise, and it knows what to do. And as you go through your day, allowing divine love to flow through you, ever so often when you think of it, when you're driving in your car and you come to a red light, what do? You turn the radio on and listen to it. You could send God's love. Those odd moments when you're waiting on somebody, or you're waiting in a grocery line, you're waiting to be served at a restaurant, send love into the restaurant. Fill the restaurant overflowing with God's love. Always ask first to be cleansed of all past negation. Then you are much more open, clear, clean channel. And send love unlabeled to be used as God sees the need. Fill a huge reservoir overflowing with God's love. You see, my dear ones, I cannot remind you enough about this, because as you learn to be an open, clear, clean channel for God to work through on a continuous basis all through your day, then you are manifesting God in the physical. When you are a channel that God's love is flowing through, you can do no wrong, for you are manifesting His divinity on the physical plane. And this is our purpose in being on the physical plane, is learning how to have these so-called experiences and so-called problems and look through them, look beyond them with the eye, the single eye of the inner you, and see the truth and rise above it. And you need not get upset. You know, I have heard some of you say that your friends think you are cold because you didn't get upset because of this or that or something else. But when you know the truth, my dear ones, you need not be disturbed emotionally. You can be relaxed, you can be calm, and you can send God's love into the situation, knowing that everyone is in the hands of God at all times. Everyone is in their right place at all times. A few simple things like this can help to give you enlightenment about your life and about the physical plane, and why you are on the physical plane, why you are having these experiences. Another thing that I would say to you is, when you have the same experience repeated, then you should stop and go within and ask for the answer. Or just before you go to sleep at night, ask to receive the answer at night and ask that it be there on your waking moment, the answer of why this repeated experience is coming to you over and over, because you're missing the answer. When something is repeated, you are not understanding it, and so it will continue to be repeated until you receive the understanding and then rise above it through the understanding into the light of God's love, and it is no longer a problem. It may happen again. It may come back again to your life. But when you understand it, really understand it, then you need not react. You say, oh yes, I know about this. I don't need to react. And you go on about what you're doing without being emotionally disturbed. It is a wonderful and beautiful thing when you receive the enlightenment to know the laws of life, to understand yourself, and to see through the illusions of this physical plane. For my dear ones, this physical plane is illusion. This may sound strange to some of you because maybe you haven't heard it before, but it is just like a play on a stage. When you go to a movie and you have the large screen there and total darkness, then when the movie starts, the adventure, drama, whatever it is, and if you enjoy it, you are immersed in the movie. You are playing the parts along with the actors and actresses. And when you come back out, you feel a little strange maybe, because you're coming back out into the sunlight if you go to a matinee, and you had to gather yourself together because you had been playing those parts for those people, and you had immersed yourself into the story. This is the same thing as as your life is on this physical plane. You are playing a certain role. You are playing a part, and you have picked this particular part to play, to learn certain lessons from. Nothing ever happens by accident. Nothing ever happens by coincidence. All is planned, and not predestination, but whatever you have in your life, you have attracted it to you through your consciousness, through the level of your consciousness. You see, my beloveds, it is a great opportunity to be in the physical. It is a great opportunity. And this is the most opportune time in the history of this planet, since this planet has been formed, to be in the physical, because this is your golden age that you're moving into. And this is a very special golden age that is going to lift this planet up to a self-illuminating star instead of the dark reflecting planet as it is now. And so you have greater opportunities. The vibrations are increasing. Everything is speeded up. Everything is happening rapidly all over the world. And it's happening wherever you are. When you bring divine light into your mind and God's love into your heart, then you can keep pace with the vibrations that are raising on this planet. You can stay in tune with the life force. And when these things happen around the world that seem to be distressing, you understand. You send God's love into them and release them to God so that God's love can help every situation when they are open. But you know that it is just a play on a stage, and that everyone is having their opportunity to either get immersed more in their misunderstanding or to rise above the particular thing through the light of God's love and have the understanding and know the truth about it. What most of your dwellers on this plane at this time do not even know the truth about themselves. They know not who they are, whence they came, or where they're going. And they only know that they have a physical body and they are moving through these experiences on this plane and have 90% at least of your people on this plane give no thought to any life after what you call death. Give no thought to it at all. If they give thought to it, it's a fear thought, because they feel that they are injured whenever they go through this experience. My dear one, this is not true. You are eternal beings that have no beginning and will have no end. You come from eternity because you are made out of God's love, out of the substance of God himself. You are children of the Most High God, and you are inheriting the kingdom of God. And all you need to do is reach out and accept it. But when you are born into a situation like this, your memory does not come with most people of their past lives or before they were in this body. And so they feel that this is all that there is. And they feel that they have to rush, and get everything and have all the experiences and make a lot of money so that they can have the things that they want to make them happy. But when they get these things, when they acquire wealth, they find that it does not make them happy. It is not where happiness and joy and peace comes from. It comes from within you, my dear ones, because the life force that you are is God. I have said this to you many times, but you need to be reminded. You need to have it said to you until you know it and act upon it, until it is like breathing. It is a natural thing to you. You know it, and you accept it, and you rise above the illusions of this plane. This is a bright circle this evening, and we will give you a chance to ask questions if you like this evening. I would say something before this. Donald has a sore throat this evening, and it's very strange for me to feel his sore throat. It is an experience that I have not had for a long time because I have been off the wheel of reincarnation for many years. And when I talk to Donald, I feel his feelings and his sore throat, and it is interesting. Do you have questions that you would ask this evening? No. If you have questions and you haven't formulated them in your mind yet, then give it thought and respond, because when you ask questions, this brings the life force. It increases the life force in your circle. It is difficult for me to explain this. When I am just talking through this vehicle you call Donald, then is just one source. But when somebody over here asks a question, and somebody over here asks a question, then the life force continues to grow and to expand, and more light comes from the higher planes. And your teachers and your guides that are standing behind you, you see, you're sending love into you to help you to understand. And there are many, many others, my dear ones, who have come to learn, just as you have, from the invisible side, as you call it. And they are here to understand and to learn as you are. Can I entice you with a question this evening?
Make that to be formal and loved, that we should become clear, clean cattle into on a regular basis.
Yes. Just ask to be cleansed of all past negation. Take a deep breath and just feel all the negative leaving you. Your inner image, my dear ones, is a magic genie within you, and you forget to use this magic genie. You see it as your inner image, your imagination that has to come into play before anything can happen on your physical plane. And when you ask God to cleanse you of all past negation, and then use your inner image for taking a deep breath and just see the light coming in, filling your whole being, and the channels all open, all the way up, all the way to the top. This opens the doors, and much more understanding can come through. When you remember to do this and make a habit of it, it is better. It will work without your doing this, but it is a little better for you to ask God to cleanse you of all past negation before you send love into your day and fill your house with love, and send love into your work and into all your friends and into everyone on this planet and all the things that you send God's love to. Does this help your understanding, dear one? Yeah.
And then, Don, you've spoken on many instances of the increasing vibration rates on this planet.
Yes.
Is there a general way that all of us can help that rate increase faster?
Increase faster? You may not want it to increase faster because you can increase your vibratory rate faster. Now, this is what you would want to do. You are thinking of helping the world, yes, but you see, at this particular time, you're just beginning your new age, and at this particular time, everything is increasing, both the negative and the positive, both the destructive and the constructive. So, if it's increased much faster, then more people will be confused and it'll be difficult to handle, as it is already. Many people on your plane are confused about their lives. And on your news, you hear that somebody has killed somebody in Phoenix almost every day because they are disturbed and upset. And it is the higher vibrations that are increasing that causes, well, it isn't the real cause of it, but it helps to bring it to a head. Ask to help your vibratory rate to increase within you so that you can keep above the physical plane in your consciousness and see the truth through the eye, the single eye, the inner eye, and know the truth. Does this help your understanding? Pardon?
Yeah.
Yes, but not completely.
No.
Yes. It is good for you to send love to the planet, to the the physical planet. It is an entity just as you are. And to send love to everyone on the planet, to send love ahead into the new age and into the outworking of the new age. And when you do send love, this does help to speed up the process of bringing things more into balance. And I feel this is what you were speaking about, of helping the planet and everyone on it to have a better life, to have things more in balance. This is coming, and it will come, but how fast or how slow depends on everyone on the planet and how often they remember to ask help from us. You see, it is like your Eloah has told this story, and I will repeat it. It is like we are standing on the shore, and you're on a lake, and a storm comes up, and the boat is rocking, and we are helpless to help you. And your boat might sink, and we have to wait until you open the door and ask for help. When you do this, then we can help. And when you open your mind to ask us to increase the vibratory rate within you, or to send God's love multiplied many times by his heavenly host to the planet and to the new age, then this is a way of helping in what you were asking about. Is this better, my dear one?
Yeah.
Yes. Are there other questions this evening?
Don, sending God's divine love and light into the different entities or the earth's soul needs even, which go more into the other entities. Those entities, if they it sets that, then it cannot reach into them.
It does stay in their aura for several days, as you would think of in time. And if they open, then it will come in. But you see, they do have the freedom, yes, to accept the divine love that you send or not. When you send somebody one love, and send love to every entity on this planet, and every entity who's connected with the planet, and whether they're on other dimensions, other planets, other places, then they have the choice to accept it or to not. But it does stay in their aura for some time. And if they are open, you see, a little bit, then it can come in and it can help them. Each one on this planet and in the whole universe is opening up. They are growing in their own way, in their own time, at their own pace. And this is God's choice, that he gave us the freedom to go as slow or as fast as we want, to stay in the lower vibrations, in the lower realms, to kill 1,000 people or to love 1,000 people. You see, it is the choice that gives us the real opportunity for growth, the freedom, the free will, because otherwise it would be like a puppet show, and God would be pulling the strings, wouldn't he? But he is not doing this. And there are times when God himself does not know how a situation is going to turn out, because there are many, many people who have free choice. For example, take your Congress. They get together and they take a poll and they vote on what law they want to pass or who they want to accept as a statesman of some kind. But it depends on all of them, and the majority then gets the rule. But each one can change his mind at any time. And so it is like this on your planet. You have the freedom to be love or to be darkness. It is the same for the whole universe. There are many, many planets in your universe that are populated, that are much farther advanced than you are. And there are other planets who are behind you. So remember every day to send God's love to the whole to the whole universe, and release it to God. When you send love to a situation or an individual, another thing, besides cleansing yourself of all past negation, when you finish, release the outcome to God and think no more about it until maybe an hour or two, or at the end of the day you'll send love again. But then when you have sent love again, release it again and think not about it. This gives God the opportunity to help. But when you send love to a friend that is in trouble or having so-called problems, and then 10 minutes later you start worrying about it, you see you have taken it back. This is your free will, and God cannot interfere with this. He cannot break his own laws. And so he has to turn loose until you turn loose and send love and then really release it. And it is the same with your own personal problems. You have things working out in your life and trying to decide whether to do this or do that, or how you're going to solve this problem or that problem. But when you send love into it and say, God, I give up, you take care of this. I cannot handle it with my physical personality self. I release it. And if you truly release it, then you think not about it. You go about doing something else, and whatever you do on your physical plane, until it comes to your mind again. And if it comes to your mind again as a worry, immediately cleanse yourself and send love into it again and say, Father, I release it again into your keeping. And turn your thoughts away from it. If you have to do this 1,000 times a day, then continue to do it, because this is the way to allow God, with all his power and all his wisdom, to help you and everyone on this planet. Are there other questions this evening?
Relating back to Mark's original question on to the rays is vibrational, and it was the accelerated vibrational ray goes the planet and also on man. If you send love to the distant entity, and those that are opening for it, wouldn't that increase the vibrationally?
Yes, when they accept it. When you send love to someone and they receive it and receive enlightenment and change their thinking patterns, everyone, the master teacher said, if I be lifted up, I draw all men unto me. And it is the same with you. Each one who raises their consciousness just a little raises the whole of mankind. Just a little. And see, if there are more and more on your planet who are awakening to the truth, and as this awakening takes place, then more light is on your planet because the entities are letting the light flow forth from within them out, and they are living from within out instead of trying to bring things into their life to make them happy. And they are allowing the God within them to shine their light outward, and this does raise the vibrations on your planet, and it helps to keep the balance also. You see, God's love is all-wise and all-powerful, and it is important that the balance be kept. When you and your Russian country were having the arms race, you tried to keep up and have as many arms as they had so that you would have a balance of power. Now, this is a negative thing, of course, but it does explain to you how balance is so important. And when you have a chaotic situation here and something over here, and that's creating darkness around your planet and in the lives of so many people, one individual, if they have true understanding, can send love into this situation and help it. And every little bit that is helped will speed up the time of enlightenment for the whole of the planet. Have I made myself clear on this?
Yes.
It is a joy to communicate with you. We look forward to these times of talking with you openly in this way, because you see, we do follow you, the ones who are in charge of you, your guardian angels, your teachers, your guides, are with you continuously, seeking ways to help you. And when we can speak openly in this way, it helps you to understand more from a physical level where you are used to operating. And then if you take that within yourself and have the understanding, then this helps to raise your consciousness. And it brings the light. As the conversation continues, your circle of light becomes brighter if you are understanding. Now, if I have said something that has confused you, you see, it might get darker. But as the enlightenment comes from within you, and you understand what is being said, then your circle is getting lighter and brighter, and it expands outward, and it touches those who have come to seek help from the invisible side that did not have the opportunity while they were in the physical to have this kind of experience. There are many, many, since you have started your channeling in I guess you called it 1987, just in this period of time, there are many from this side who have grown and who have received light and understanding. Some of them are new, have just come from your plane to this plane, to these dimensions, and they are seeking understanding, they are seeking help. And help is always there, but sometimes they do not know how to accept it. They don't understand what has happened to them because they feel that they are supposed to be dead, but they're not dead. And they don't understand. And when they can find a circle of light such as yours and see you in the physical body and us talking to you from this side, you see it brings light to them. It brings understanding. And it is a beautiful thing that you are doing, keeping this circle of light going and bringing the questions and asking the questions. there are many from this side who are asking questions also, and they are being answered from this side. Maybe you did not think of that, did you? I see that in your mind you didn't consider that, but you see the ones just as yourself who have come to learn. When I ask you if you have questions, then question comes into their minds, and everything on this dimension is known instantly. Every thought, every feeling. And their teachers or their helpers can project the answers into their mind. And it is not just that individual that hears it, but all who... Are there other questions this evening that you would ask? It is a wonderful service that you are doing, just coming to this circle of light on Wednesday nights, as you think of it, and bringing yourself and your understanding and opening your minds and your hearts to receive understanding. And yes, we do repeat many things, and I see this in some of your thoughts, that we're repeating again. But you see, my dear ones, you need these things repeated. Maybe you don't need it, the particular you, but maybe the fellow next to you does need the repetition and does need to hear it 100 times, 500 times, whatever it takes, until the light dawns and they understand. And I'm sure that some of you have had this experience when you've read a book and then you set it aside for a few months and go back and think, well, I didn't see this in this book before. And it was because you have grown and you are open to understand more and to receive more enlightenment. I think I have been gabby tonight, or you have turned your tape over. Are there other questions that you would ask this evening?
I have a question kind of odd one now.
Yeah.
That is that when a person is meditating, their brain waves slow down as far as how we measure it. And yet when we talk about raising vibrations, it sounds like we're talking about speeding them up. I'm curious about that.
Yes. When you meditate, my dear one, you turn off the attention to the outer physical world and you go within. You go within by shutting down your outer five senses. And this is what you're shutting down. You're slowing down. But within you, you are speeding up. If you have learned to meditate in the proper way. When you first start to learn to meditate, sometimes you sit and you just think of your problems. And of course, if you do this, you give your problems more power. But when you have trained your mind to be still and to be open, and then learn to listen from within and turn off the outer world, then you can hear, you can know. And there are times when you are not conscious of what you learn in your meditations. But as you go through your day, it will come to you. Understanding will come to you. And you may think at times when you are practicing your meditation, you're not accomplishing anything. Be aware that you are. If you pick a certain time to meditate every day, keep that time as close as you can, and your teachers and guides will be there with you to help you in your meditations. And it sets up a rhythm, and this puts you in tune with the life force a lot more. And if you feel that you have not accomplished anything, eliminate that thought and send love into it, because you have accomplished. You may not be consciously aware of it, but just keeping the rhythm going is a very good thing. But there are other things that are happening on other dimensions of yourself that may not come into your conscious awareness for some time to come. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand that.
Yes.
And I guess what of course, the question was about vibrational rate, and that is tactics that we measure the vibration, it's a thought vibration, in essence, with our instruments that says the mind slows down. So I guess what you're saying, we're measuring the closing down of the external senses.
Yes, and you're closing down your mind so that instead of thinking thoughts, you're not hearing anything. You're only hearing your thoughts. And one of the main purposes of meditation is to slow your thoughts down so that you can go in and have communion with the God within you and to hear the directions that you are given. And it may not be in words. It may be in words, but there are many times when it's beyond words. It's a feeling, it's a knowing, it's an understanding. And if you use meditation to take a misunderstanding or a so-called problem, and you say, I'm going to sit down and get quiet and receive enlightenment on this, you see, you have to slow down your thoughts and your mind to the point that you can hear the answer. Does this make sense to you now?
Yes, I think so.
My dear one, your mind does work rapidly most of the time, and it is different for everyone. For you have the ability to bring in many thoughts rapidly and to assess them and to move on to other things. For most people, they do not have that pace. It would be well for you to consider slowing down, and you have slowed down in this recently. You have slowed down. You see, what happens when we don't slow down is our body becomes disabled or has a problem physically, and we have to stay home from work, and so this makes you slow down, doesn't it? And when something like this happens, then you should ask why. Donald should ask himself, why do I have this sore throat? Why is this particular thing happening? And if he will go in to his meditations and be quiet and listen, he will receive the answer. Are there other questions this evening? You are a beautiful group. Each one of you are a beautiful child of God, and I would try to help you to understand how much you are loved. And I would ask you to think on this many times through the day. God loves me. My teachers and guides love me. My friends from eons of time love me. And I love myself. And in loving myself, I can love others much easier. God bless you, my dear ones. It has been a privilege to be with you. Good evening. Very hold hand. Our state of ourselves coming together in the physical as we have in spirit. And let us think of the channeling continuing to come down to the circle of life, channeling God's love from the higher dimensions to the physical plane. See this room filling with God's love as each one here adds to the power of God's love as they open themselves to their channel. See it spread over this city, covering this planet, and going out to the whole universe. See an extra abundance of God's love going to all the world leaders on all the planets, and going to all the troubled spots everywhere in the universe. Be going ahead of you into your day, into your week, rather, into your every thought, word, and deed, into every situation and every encounter, and know that God's love is there. And if you or your loved ones have any problems, let us drop them into this pool of love. If you have someone that you know that needs help, just in your mind, think of this as a pool of love, and drop them into the pool, and know that the healing power of God's love is all-powerful, and the light of understanding, and come to this one if they are open. Thank you for them. They know attracted to God's love,
Well, but Jody and I were talking fashion, and we've been talking, on the reputation, and we've heard it before, and I think we heard the answer when we were talking, and we said, well, we need to hear it again, and to keep reminding us. So,
well, also there are new people that come too, and they need to hear. But we need the reputation too. I know I do.
that same fan, it takes a while to listen to them. In behavior pattern, not in chain patterns.
Well, let's see, we have a self-hypnosis class on the 11th of March. If your friend wants to come. We have a free introductory class next Tuesday evening at 8:30. She didn't come to an introductory class, did she? No. Yeah. And it's open to everyone. They want to come. There's no charge, no obligation. Nobody pushes you into anything. And we're going to have a new mail out on April, 1st of April. There's a lot of new things happening. Including our summer retreat in the mountains.
There hasn't been a day, and there hasn't been a time take death of there.
Oh yes, the date's set. June the 8th is Friday evening. You get fed too. It's
9th.
Is it the 9th? No, 9th, 10th, and 11th. Friday is 9th, and we have dinner, and we get fed Saturday. I haven't got the full details on that, but it's it looks like a beautiful place. I haven't been at that particular place, but I know that area is beautiful. In the pines. And if you're around the beds where you can bring your sleeping bag. Unless it's raining, we'll project good weather for that week.
But one P need to figure too much word after look at that name and the kettle.
What else shall we call it? A class? Well,
Yeah.
everybody kind of quiet for lunch.
Next.